Good evening. I'm Rick Dancer. Welcome to Get Real with Rick Dancer. When somebody sends you a video of somebody singing or rapping and that the words to the song reach somewhere into your soul where you're almost afraid to go, where you almost feel like they're intruding on your world, like they're pulling stuff out of your life that you want to be hidden and not noticed by anyone. When they're saying words that you can't say yourself, for fear of retaliation or people coming after you, even for fear of your own psyche, like your mentality of who you are and your soul. That's what happened to me this week. A mom, and she's a smart mom, she sent me a video of her son rapping. I did not know who this guy was. Now I do, and everybody else in town seems to know who he is. But the mom, why I love this so much is because she sent it to me and just said, take a listen to this and see what you think. And if she'd written me and said, hey, this is my son, you should hear him sing, I'm going to think, it's a mom just bragging about her kid, and I might not look at it. So this woman is a marketing genius, and she loves her boy. And he's a big boy. So we're going to bring him on in just a second. But first, I want to thank our sponsors, Coburg Road Car Wash, because today was a really good day for a car wash.
Well, hello, Renee.
Hi, Rick.
You're sponsoring the show tonight, so I thought I'd get some video going through the car wash. Is that okay?
Absolutely. And it's a great day for a car wash. I'm so glad you're here.
It's never a bad day.
Never a bad day for a car wash. That is right. As you can see, everyone's coming.
Watch the show tonight.
I will. What time?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock dark trip.
Yeah, we're going to have a heck of a time.
I'm off here in a couple minutes. I will tune in at 5 o'clock.
Well, good evening. I'm Rick Dancer, and that is Coburg Road Car Wash, our sponsor. But let's just not even wait anymore. Let's bring him on. This is ENDR WON.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Rick?
Oh my God, you are like my new favorite artist. You know,
I appreciate that, and that's hilarious about my mom, because I'm telling you right now, nobody was more jacked about you than my mom. I swear. I was like questioning her legitimacy as far as, okay, is this taking it a little bit past into the crush scene? She called you a silver fox at one point. I'm like, look.
She's going, you go, Mom, you cannot date the guy. He's married.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, chill out, Mom. You're married.
Besides, is that weird? Like, makes me your like step papa or something? I don't even know. That's just kind of weird, huh?
You know what? Wrong webcam. I'm out of here. Sorry, guys.
Well, now we've dragged your poor mother into this. So, ENDR WON. I want you to start off first with, because I kept looking at the word and going, how the fuck do I say that? I don't know what this is, but tell them what it was, and then how come, because I love how you changed that in, and I'm going to share this around a little bit. I'm going to take myself off. Tell them what you know.
No doubt. Yeah. So, yeah, the name itself, you know, rap names in general, let's just be honest, are fucking corny, you know, excuse my language, but it's just the truth. And, you know, part of my story is I'm kind of a transplant from Southern California to Oregon. And I spent some times on the street as a teenager, and actually, you know, was living downtown Eugene before all those streets were paved, you know, slept under Washington Jefferson Bridge, the whole nine. And, you know, in the street culture, hip hop culture in general kind of embraced me. And really gave me life, and the artistic kind of creativity that comes with that is not a thing that's really known, but graffiti and street culture was something that I absolutely kind of adapted to, and that's where the name started from. And in graffiti kind of terms, the shorter name was the better. If you had too many letters, you wanted something real quick, you could just jot on a wall and get out of there and do whatever. And I adapted and attached to the word endure. I found that word really interesting and really kind of relevant to my own life. And my mom even had mentioned it a few times, you know, you need to endure, you need to endure. But it was too long, you know, and so I shortened it up. And in graffiti terms, when you put the number one next to your name, usually that means you claim it, that's your name. And for years, that's just what I went by, because people already knew me kind of in the street culture as ENDR WON. And I figured, like, why would I switch it up? you know, have some kind of cheesy rap name when people already know me as that. You know, I don't feel like kind of starting over in a sense. And so I just kept it as that. And then when I got sober in 2005, that's when I kind of started to adapt more to the one, WON, so ENDR WON. And so that's kind of, you know, the adaptation of where I went through. You know, like I was telling you on the phone, you know, rap names in general are corny. If I had to do it all over again, I'd probably just go by fucking Kenneth. I'd probably just go by my real name and just, hey, it is what it is. But that's the story.
And then when you put one in there, taking one and changing it to you won. And because I think that speaks to who you are, don't you think?
Well, it's one of those things where I guess I didn't think that much into it at the time. You know, it was just kind of like, I'm sober, I won. It's almost like a self-affirmation in a way, right? Of like of speaking that into existence type of thing. And it absolutely, you know, when I think back to the days of when I came up with that name, and I think of the places I've been and the things that I've seen in my life, there's no doubt that I attached to that word endure, you know what I'm saying? And putting the one behind it, you know, it sounds really finite, you know what I'm saying? Like you won, but that ain't it, you know, to me, you know, it's a continuous battle, you know, and that's
but don't you think too, that you did win? And one of the things I have a trouble with sometimes when people say I'm in recovery and all my recovery friends, it's like, no, you recovered. And I understand you can always go back, but all of us can go back and screw up. Well, it's like with one, it's like I won, I beat it. Now, do I have to continue to fight that every day? You bet your ass. Right. But I am claiming it because I think half of it is, well, like I kind of won. I'm kind of over it. And it's like,
well, that's not, you know, like for me, at least, this is, you know, just personally, and all this shit obviously is subjective to the person, right? And to what they've been through. But for me personally, when I say something like I'm in recovery or I'm actively on the pursuit of winning, it's just the simple fact of I'm a constant work in progress. And the day that me personally, the day that I ever look at myself and go, man, I fucking made it, you know, I feel like you've already fucked up.
Right. Yeah.
If you're already acting like you know everything in the world, in whatever business or whatever field you in, you have already fucked up. And so for me personally, it's just a progress, not perfection mentality. And it's not to say that I'm not proud of where I've come from. It's not to say that I don't have those moments when I sit back and turn to my wife or my mom and I go, man, my life is not what it used to be, you know, whatever. And I'm not who I'm used to be. And that's a good thing. But it's just to say that it is a constant humility that I feel like anyone that has walked through some serious shit in their life, if you lack that gratitude to be where you're at, there's something wrong, you know, like, and that for me has been kind of the staple of everything that you see happening. Right. Cause like I joked around on the phone, like I never was like, you know what I want to be when I'm 36? I want to be a dad rapper from Oregon. You know, like, you know, that wasn't like in the fucking cards, you know, but it's a situation that I'm really blessed and honored to have the platform I do. And I plan on maximizing it while I'm here. That's the point.
Okay. So people keep writing this on here and you guys, I am going to play the video, but I'm sorry. I'm having too much fun with this. So
you're good, man.
So everybody, when I bring your name up, because you and I find out we have a ton of mutual friends mixed on here, just different folks, but they say ENDR is the real deal. Mm. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it's humbling. It's one of those things where like like I said a minute ago, I never dreamed in my wildest dreams that I would have anybody really give a shit about my music or what I had to say about anything. And part of my internal issues and some of my history and growing up in abuse and different things were a lot of teaching me the wrong ideals about myself, right? And insecurities and things like that, right? And never feeling like I was enough or that I was valued or that I had self-worth, right? Or any of those type of things. And so to have other people, you know, even yourself, place value on what I do and who I am as a human and be able to connect. That's why in a lot of my shit and even in a lot of my social media posts, I tend to repeat myself and say things like, you are not alone. It's because to me, that message, especially right fucking now, needs to be heard, is that you're not alone in your hurt, your pain. And these are all things that frankly in the hip hop kind of a world that I live in aren't really spoke on. And if they are, it's kind of in a like a, yeah, you know, that's cool. You went through some shit. We all went through some shit, but let's not talk about it. Let's just, you know, mum's the word type of thing. And that's just kind of not what has kept me sober, to be honest. What's kept me sane on any kind of level is by speaking on real shit and just being honest with what's going on. And with the music and the reaction that my fan base and my family and my supporters have kind of came to my side with, it didn't come from like me shying away from topics that were real to me and you know, and things that I felt. It came from like, I'm just going to put this shit out there because it's real to me. And if people happen to relate to it, that's just an added bonus. That's just an added bonus.
Don't you think sometimes that we are who we are because of the hard shit we go through?
Facts.
And I feel like we have more to give away. But the key is, I think every person out there has shit in their life that they could, that you could do the same thing that you and I are doing every day, what we do. But it's the vulnerability. People are afraid to be vulnerable because culture loves to slap you down when you start talking about real shit.
That's the facts. And I appreciate you saying that, because that's the truth is, you know, and it's not new necessarily, right? But mental health is kind of like, it's weird. It's a hot button topic kind of nowadays. But in some weird ways, it almost feels like it's not taken serious. It's almost looked at, you know, as a like a gimmick type of thing for some people, you know. And for somebody who suffers from mental health issues, I take it extremely serious when I hear that type of shit get talked about. But when I see somebody like yourself with the platform you do, have the courage to say to anybody, right? Somebody that might not even agree with you on any kind of level, spiritually, politically, you know, relationally, whatever it happens to be, to tell other people like, hey, it's important that you speak on those emotions that you have inside, because the problem with our world is, like you said, they want to tell you to shut your mouth, don't speak about that. Like, I have a song called Cry Now that's all about that honesty, that vulnerability, about like, especially from a male stereotypical, you know, hey, we don't talk about our feelings type of bullshit. And once I was able to push past that and recognize that, hey, when I'm able to let go of some shit, all of a sudden it's like, I don't have to carry this burden anymore. I don't have to play the fucking game. I can speak honestly. I can do those things. And here's the truth for anybody watching that's maybe feeling some of those things like they can't. By getting vulnerable and by getting honest, you expose people that you don't want in your life anyways. Because the people that, you know, saw my video for Cry Now about speaking about real emotions and shit like that, they go, man, this is some, excuse my language, but this is some pussy shit. You know, this isn't for real men or whatever happened to be. Newsflash, those type of dudes are not real men in the first place. And they're definitely not human beings that I want to be connected with in my circle. And so, you know, I absolutely have a lot of respect for anybody that has the willingness, like even my DMs or comments. I get messages all the time from random people across the world that have the courage to reach out and send even a quick message, like a 3-sentence message. And I'm sure you get them too sometimes, that are like, hey, I just want to tell you, I've been hurting and struggling, you know, with addiction, or I've been hurting and struggling with my relationship, or I've been hurting in this. And I just want to tell you, I appreciate what you do. Even to do that, people underestimate the amount of courage it takes just to write that shit. So,
and don't you, I think, like for me, I found my friends who've been in recovery.
My boy Big Years in the building. I just had to give him a shout out real quick. My boy Hunter's in the building. I love you, Hunter. I see you, my guy.
And you already answered a question. Somebody wanted to know what the meaning to Cry Now was all about. You already answered it, so you got.
Oh, cool. Okay, that's what's up. I haven't really seen the comments, but I just saw my boy Hunter tapping right there, and that's my brother from way back, from literally from when I was on the streets.
Who, Hunter?
Hunter Nelms is in the building. I see you. He's getting a shout out right now. I love you, my guy. So,
don't you find that people who've been in recovery or have had hard lives are the most interesting people to hang out with, because they talk about real shit instead of sitting down and going, "What did the Ducks do this week?" You know?
Yeah.
I'm the guy who wants to go, what hurts the most in a day? What's the hardest moment of your day? And how do you get through it? Because I want to learn from other people.
Well, and I'll tell you right now that it's not even, at least for me, at least, it's not even necessarily about the addicts and alcoholics of our world. It's really anybody that has been through some shit. Because anybody that's been through some things and seen some things, or at least somebody that has the empathy and the understanding of watching other people go through some of that shit, like you said, yeah, I would much rather have a conversation like this where we're talking about some rigorous honesty, some emotions that people don't really want to speak about. I would much rather do this for 10 hours, 1 hour of complete FaceTime bullshit.
So I want to play this song because like Tom Hunt comes on and says, Ender, your song made me cry about today's challenges. It really hit home for me. And that's why I called you, or got your mom and got a hold of you, which wasn't that difficult actually. And just so you know,
Yeah.
there's something in that song that you take everything that I think we're all feeling, whether mask, no mask, whatever. It's not about that. It's about what we're feeling, and you just take it, and you especially the second time. And this is what I noticed. I started watching your videos, and what you do so well is the first time you give me the lines and the story, and I'm kind of getting into it. I'm going, okay, I hear that, and then you just beat the shit out of me the second time around is when it's just bam, ba, ba, bam, ba, ba, bam, ba, ba, bam, ba, ba. And I'm feeling like, God, get off of me. You know what I mean? But that's what you do so well. And I don't know if you know that or understand that, but it's your style. And it really does work because you take people and you just, you forced me. It's almost like you're teasing me. The first time you just let me know what you're going to talk about. And the second time it's, I will take no prisoners. I'm going in. And it's like, before we know it, we're sitting there going, oh my God.
Hey, that to me, you know, that's cool that you notice that and that you feel that, because, you know, it's funny, but when I'm writing, I don't necessarily like game plan it like a build up, you know, sometimes.
No, it's who you are. I mean, it's just it's a style that is you. And that's why I think people love you.
You know, with Tired specifically, you know, the song going into it, it's funny how naturally that song came, because that song is not like, you know, it was not a song that was like, because I've had a couple people reach out and be like, man, that's cool that you wrote a song about what's going on nowadays. And that's cool that you had that, you know, as motivation. And I'm like, well, don't get it twisted. Like, the song wasn't written because we're all going through this. The song was written because I'm going through some shit too.
Right.
And, you know, and that's where the chorus is what came first. I was driving, and that's where I do 99% of my writing. And I was listening to the beat, and shout out to my brother, Joey Kaufman, he's my producer. He's been one of my closest friends. We've done music out of broom closets and bathrooms for years. And he sent me this beat, and I'm not joking you, Rick, within 5-10 minutes, I had the chorus done. And without even putting a pen to pad, because it was just, I had it in my head, and I had the melody and the harmony, and I was feeling tired. I was feeling fucking tired. And I sat down, pulled over into a parking lot, and I wrote the first verse. And about halfway through that verse, that's when I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do, and like, I already knew it. Like, this is all just like in my brain thinking, is I'm going to take the second verse and I'm going to make the comparison to my life. So the idea with that song is the first verse is basically a third person take, right, on issues and problems that people face and people are dealing with. And then the second verse was a first person take of what I'm going through, to kind of, it's a big word, but juxtapose, right, that connection between, it does not fucking matter if you're a middle-aged stay-at-home dad rapper from Oregon, or if you're someone across the world that is dealing with all the issues of the first verse. We all have similarities and fears and anxieties and whatever, mental health, addiction, like whatever you draw from it. And that was the idea of doing that 2-verse kind of combo, was to make that connection that no matter what situation you find yourself in, that you're not alone in it.
Okay, let me do two things real quick. So Michael Weber says perfectly. I love the way he wrote this. His lyrics grab you and shake you and make you feel you're not alone.
Hey, salute to you, Michael. Appreciate that, man. Salute to you, man.
And then Brandy says, play the damn song. Not in those words, but hey, that's what she means. But before we play the song, what's your favorite thing or line in this song, so people know when it comes up? What's the favorite, like the thing? Do you have something that you know in there? I can think of what mine is, but is there something in there that you knew that's so close to you that it's like almost the part like you don't want to put in there and you put it in?
I mean, yeah, it's the I turn the rear view mirror so he won't see me crying.
Yes.
Uh,
I knew that was it.
yeah, for sure. Because that part and having my son in the video too, that was, because that's real shit. That's not a lie.
And just from a fan's standpoint, that is so rude of you to take me there. I didn't want to go there.
Right.
You,
Yeah. My bad. My bad.
You're a fucker.
Yeah, my bad on that shit. My bad. I got Rick crying in there and shit.
Okay, I'm gonna play the song, and so you can hear what's going on here, and we'll get back.
What if you need a job but can't get one? Unless you felt that, then you don't know the way it feels to file for unemployment, get a fraction of the income, and still, it doesn't pay your bills. And you got kids who just found out that school's canceled. Pandemic problems, here's a new handful, and you're the parent. It's your job to lead by example, cause you're a superhero to them, no trick you can't pull. But inside you're cracking like a gift that's too big, and it rips the wrapping. And every day some crazy new keeps happening, and even though you're laughing, you're not that good at acting. And now we got a quarantine, and kids wanna play now, but depression's a and you just wanna lay down. Instead you gotta try to explain why every playground isn't safe now, or covered in caution tape now. And it's all from this thing that we'll forever remember, COVID-19. So do you get the vaccine or go without one? Fear of judgment and fear of an unknown outcome. Like, oh, you wanna hug your grandma? You better ask, did you sanitize your hands? Is she wearing her mask? Keep 6 feet back or you'll be 6 feet in the grass. What'd you say? Don't worry about what I got in this glass. I'm tired, I'm alright, I'm okay, I'm a liar. They say diamonds cook in the fire best when the pressure's on. So I'm trying to just hold on, but my hands are tired, and my stress can't get any higher. Feels like I'm walking a wire now, and I just look down on it, above that ground, all alone. Now pay attention, I got no degrees, but at least I got a few skills I use for enjoyment to make a small income. But still, it doesn't pay my bills, and I got a kid who just found out his school's canceled. Pandemic problems, now I got a handful. And as a parent, it's my job to lead by example, cause I'm a superhero to him, no trick dad can't pull. But inside I'm dying, like a bird with broke wings that pretends he's flying. I turn the rear view mirror so he won't see me crying. But even when I'm smiling, I'm not that good at lying. It's been months on this quarantine, daddy needs a break now, my depression's a and I just wanna lay down. Instead I gotta duck under yellow caution tape now, sneak into a playground just so he can play now. And it's all from this thing that I just wanna forget. COVID-19, wife's a nurse, so she got the vaccine. I went without one, fear of judgment and fear of an unknown outcome. I just wanna hug my mom without having to ask, did you sanitize your hands? Are you wearing your mask? I've been sober for years, honestly about to relapse. What'd you say? Don't worry about what I got in this flask. I'm tired, I'm alright, I'm okay, I'm a liar. They say diamonds cook in the fire best when the pressure's on. So I'm trying to just hold on, but my hands are tired, and my stress can't get any higher. Feels like I'm walking a wire now, and I just look down on it, above that ground, all alone. My stress can't get any higher. Feels like I'm walking a wire now, and I just look down on it, above that ground, but I'm not alone.
Wow.
I appreciate you playing that, Rick. I appreciate it more than you know, actually, because I mentioned it to you. But we've run into a lot of crazy shit with this song, man, and YouTube and Google Ads. As soon as we dropped the video, I tried to advertise it, and Google Ads and YouTube actually denied me. I went through 4 separate appeals with them at advertising the song because they said I wasn't supposed to say the words COVID-19 or masks or anything that had to do with the pandemic. And they said it fell under their sensitive events category and guidelines. And if you look it up, which trust me, I looked it up line for line, their sensitive guidelines never once mentioned in there that you can't say COVID-19, because I think we've all seen ads on YouTube videos that have the words COVID in them and different shit. So it's pretty insane that a song like that would get blocked and denied advertising from literally the biggest video platform on the planet from a guy in Oregon. But to see the love that it has received and to see people connecting with it and to see people sharing it and still enjoying it and still commenting and what those things do is they fuck with YouTube's algorithm, right? So even if they don't like to see it, they have to, right? They get forced to. And so everyone that's sharing that video and commenting, it means more than you guys even fucking know right now, because to put a song out like that, for one, it's not as easy as people think to like just write about your fucking life, you know, and write about your wife and write about your son and those type of things. But to see it get blocked and denied and you know, and have these issues where it feels like you're working uphill in the snow just to show people a fucking video to try and connect with them is difficult. But having the reactions from people who genuinely are sharing it and just emotionally attaching themselves to really, it's just a song about going through the shit. That's it. Like I made very clear in that song, at least in my opinion, it was clear that this wasn't about like taking some kind of bullshit side. This is literally just about what it's like to go through something that none of us have ever gone through in the fucking universe. This is the first time this shit has happened. And I'm writing about how it's feeling and how it's reacting. And like, I don't expect everybody to go, yeah, it's a great song or whatever it happens to be. But I know that the people that do connect with it and do feel that, that means more than you know. So thank you for, I remember you, when we talked, you had mentioned that you shed a tear when you watched it and shit like that. And it means a lot. It means a lot.
And Michael, you and I are like brothers from another mother or something. That song should be our world anthem for the pandemic. And I agree, because you know what? I think that's what we all feel something, and we're almost told by culture we can't feel. Yeah. And then here's this rapper dude who's our neighbor, and you give us permission to not. We can't help but feel, but you gave us an outlet. And if everybody on here would please share this link. And we'll also get a link on his YouTube page. In fact, you can go back in there and put it in the comment section in there, and it'll show up, and people can do that. I got people on here looking for CDs. They want to play it in their car. I mean, there's something about that song, I think, that makes us feel like it's okay to, because right now, it feels to me like right now, culture has said, you cannot feel, just get through this. And it's like, I'm sorry. My heart, my feelings are part of how I deal with things. And you're telling me to shut them down, and I can't, and people are telling me what I'm supposed to think, and I don't. And then somebody like you comes along and gives me permission, and you did, well, you didn't give me permission. You traipsed into my world, and you interrupted my dealing with it, and you grabbed my heart, and you threw it out, and you slapped it a little, and it was awesome. And I think that's how people are feeling right now. Have you always had the ability to write like this, or is it because I listened to a bunch of your other stuff and I really like it as well, but is this kind of who you are?
You know, I've done music in one facet, in one shape or form for a long time. Like I said, growing up on the streets, you know, hip hop and the culture, you know, freestyles and ciphers and, you know, random open mics were just kind of a part of what I lived in. But I took like a 6-year hiatus from music from like 2011 to probably 2000. You know, I don't know, 17 or so. I guess 2017. And I didn't put anything out really publicly. And I got really in my head about music and the mainstream and where it was at. And I didn't like it, you know, whatever. And just life shit happened, you know.
Right.
But taking that step back and kind of coming back to music, it was kind of crazy how it happened. Like I mentioned, my producer and friend, Joey Kaufman, he's also a father, and he's somebody that I look up to and I respect. And he came over. I remember when my son was like brand new, and he had this CD of beats, just beats. And he goes, I know you still got the fire in you, man. He goes, come on, just listen to these and see if any of them hit. I'm like, I don't know, man. And I listened to one of them, and I had that song written like the same day. It was a song called Hallelujah. And it wasn't on some spiritual shit. It wasn't on any kind of religious shit. You know, it was just about gratitude. And it was about basically seeing the other side of some of life. And really from that point on, I just kind of said, like fuck making music for any kind of other intention other than this is what I need to say, and I'm gonna make what's real to me. And if other people connect with it and they like it, then so be it. And that's a really good place to be at, because then that's like, I as a youngster making music, when I was in my early 20s, I remember I would have all these things in my head, and it was never like a kind of a reality, but I always was like, when I'm sitting down to write a song, I would have weird intentions. Like, man, I just got to make a song for the girls. I got to make a song for the girls. And then I got to make a song for the club. And then wait, I got to make a song for the gangsters. And wait, I got to make a song for the hip hop lyrical heads. And like all this bullshit, and just like, you know, like trying to force myself into some kind of box. And really when I have some lines of music where I talk about this, is like when I sat back and finally said, you know what, I'm just going to make music that's real to me and see what happens. It's funny how once I did that, that's when all of a sudden people started connecting, opportunities started happening, doors started opening up, and eardrums started really, you know, kind of keening in. And that wasn't, you know, that, like, I'm not one of these fucking, you know, these weirdo cats that has like lofty goals. Like, you know what, one day, man, when I'm like 70, I'm going to be the next big rapper. Like that's not what it is, man. I do what I love. I'm trying to be the best father that I can. And while I'm here, I'm going to look at maximizing what I'm fucking doing. And that's pretty much it.
And that's what you and I talked about on the phone for an hour the other day, you know, is the similarity in our lives that way, is that when I start talking about my depression and start talking about my real life and getting vulnerable with people,
Mm-hmm.
and start really doing what I feel's right, my views, I'm not doing this to get views. I'm not doing this to see how many people I can bring on.
Mm-hmm.
And the less I do that, the more people that come on. And the more I really become Rick Dancer, which is why I call my show Get Real with Rick Dancer, the more I let Rick Dancer out, the more the little haters come after me, but the more love I find in the real people that are out there looking for stuff. And I think we're all attracted to that, especially right now. And maybe that's why one of the reasons, you know, you're so, I think people just love you is because you put words to our feelings. And isn't that what a good artist is supposed to do?
In my opinion, you know, being an MC, right, has to do with not just being kind of one-sided, right, where you can just write a song about being a good rapper. Like, you know, like anybody can be a good rapper, right? But then to me, when I think of the art of being an MC in hip hop culture and just, you know, in music in general, is can you have all facets of your game? Can you make a song that connects with people on an emotional level? Can you make a song that's going to bring them up, right, and excite people? Can you perform live? Can you hold a microphone? You know, certain things that you just have to be able to do and to carry attention. And in my personal opinion, as an MC, I just feel like what good is your skill if you genuinely have skill? Let's be honest. There's a lot of rappers out there that don't have fucking skill. You know, that's just the truth. But if you're an MC and you consider yourself a skilled rapper, what good is having that skill if you're not able to talk about real shit that's going on? And that's just me personally. Like, it's not like every song has to be like this where it's an intense emotional song, but it's just a matter of like, I'm not gonna bullshit. I'm not gonna force myself to make some happy-go-lucky song if I'm not feeling happy-go-lucky. You know, that's just how it goes.
So two more things. How, I don't know how to word this. I want to just say, how important is your mom to you? Who brought you when you were a fuck up and life was really shitty and your mom was probably spending a lot of time wondering if this was going to happen? I'll just leave it like that. You answer that.
Yeah, my mom is everything. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Yeah, she I'm not here without her, you know. That's just a fact. Growing up, you know, poor, broken home, not a lot of chances in the world, and abused, sexually abused, violence, you name it.
I'm sorry.
Without, don't be, because it made me who I am. But my mom, you know, when I was locked up as a kid, I did some juvie time. She never missed one fucking visit. And that just says who she is. There was an amount of grace and love that she has taught me, you know, through the hardships, you know, that me and my younger brother experienced, that, you know, my mom, thinking back to her and how she must have felt through those things to watch what was happening in front of her eyes with her children, and now to have a son is something that there's really no words for it. I feel extremely grateful that I have a mother like her, because I realize that there's not a lot of people that have that, and that is a rare thing, you know. And you know, I used to find myself, you know, constantly angry, frustrated, and bitter about the way I grew up, you know, and not having a father around and this and that. And the older I got and the more mature I got, the more I grew and really realized that I was so crazy fucking blessed to have a mom like her that gave a shit. You know, when I was living on the streets as a teenager, I remember seeing her little car. We had this old school, it was like an 86 Toyota Tercel, I think it was. And she would get in it and drive through alleyways in downtown before those streets were there. Really not the safest thing, right? For like a mom to drive around at nighttime down there by herself. But she would drive around and she would ask other homeless street kids and, you know, whoever else was down there, have you seen my son? His name's Ender. Have you seen him? Have you seen him? And I was so lost in my own addictions and my own shit, you know, that I would tell him to tell that lady I don't know who she is. And yeah, my mom's everything.
So then my last question, how important was it when you and your wife...
Hey, fuck you for getting me back, by the way, Rick. This is good.
This isn't going to be any easier. When you and your wife looked down and you had a son.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was massive. Actually, the day we found out that we were having a son was massive. You know, it was huge because, you know, growing up, like I said, you know, with the random hardships and shit like that, I would find my mom crying in her room randomly, you know, like I just find her and I would hold her. I was just a kid and I'd hold my mom and I'd just say, it's okay, Mom. It's okay. And I remember being like, you know, second grade, holding my mom as she's crying. I remember telling her, it's going to be okay. When I have a kid one day, when I have a son, I'm going to be the best dad ever. So don't worry, Mom, I'm going to be okay, you know, whatever. And, so when I found out that I was going to have a son, that I was going to have that chance at redemption. Yeah, man, game changer in more ways than I can explain. And, you know, the fact is that this rap shit is cool. It's a blessing to be able to have the platform I do, to have people to listen, but being a father will forever be the biggest honor and blessing that I've ever experienced in my life. And being able to pass down and teach shit to my son that I had to learn the hard way, you know, the ugly way, all that shit, to me is the best part about being a parent in the first place, is getting to be the person to your kid that you didn't have, you know, that protector, that investor, that educator, that, you know, to be that human being is a surreal experience. And like, I remember before I had a kid, you know, you hear people talk about kids and you're like, oh yeah, that's cool. You're one of those fucking parents that's always posting pictures of your kid. And then you have a kid. And I remember my first like week of being a parent, I posted probably like 50 pictures of him online. I remember just writing out a caption that said, okay, parents, I get it. You know, and like, it's like, you get it at that point. And yeah, my son being born was major, like major.
Yeah. See, that's why I love you. It's because I grew up the same kind of thing. And then when I had my two boys,
yeah,
my dad wasn't around. And when I had two boys, at first I was super excited. Then I got scared.
Right.
Like, how do I do this?
Right.
I didn't grow up understanding how this happens. And people just ended up coming into my life that could help fill the pieces. And I went to therapy for 3 years to get over my dad's stuff. And
right.
so because I looked at my wife and I said, I cannot be him. I
Right.
have to do something different, you know. There's somebody on here, and I don't want to murder the first name, but Buck, Miss Buck. Thank you for your ability to be vulnerable with us. You gave me strength today to have hope that my son will overcome his addictions. And Miss Buck, let me tell you, there's so many people on here who have struggled through addictions and have come through it. So there's a ton of hope. What's the key is though, like his mom, you just drive down in the middle of the night and you go find your baby.
Well, here's the deal. Like, here's the truth, right? Is that, and that's like the hardest part about being a parent, right? Is like understanding that really, it was never about my mom. You know what I mean? It really wasn't. It was about me, running into a fucking brick wall enough times to finally say, you know what, I don't want to run into this brick wall anymore. And sadly, you know, not everybody gets second chance, right? And so ultimately, you know, for Miss Buck or anybody else that, you know, has a loved one, a kid that's fighting with addictions, is just to remember that there absolutely is fucking hope. That's just the truth. There is absolutely hope. And that's the whole message of the song like Tired or a song like Cry Now, right? Is like, hey, it doesn't matter how far down the spectrum. You know, I've seen and experienced crazy shit in my life where I thought my life was completely done. There's no coming back from this. There's no forgiveness. There's no nothing. I've seen in other people's lives where it looks like a complete fucking black hole. And then there's absolute resurrection to that. So like, you know, just recognizing no matter where that person is, no matter their age, that absolutely there is growth, there is hope, there is all of those things that can come. And that's just the truth, you know, and it's absolutely better than the latter, because the other choice is, well, everything sucks, you know, and everything is just going to shit. And yeah, and you know, that's not the mindset to have on any level.
Dude, I am so glad that your mom reached out to me.
Hey, she's crazy, man. That's so.
If I could do.
That's so funny, man. She pulled like the agent move and was like the secret agent with you, you know, like, oh yeah, you might like this video. That's so funny to me. Hey, you want to hear something funnier too?
What?
So check it out. So that day I was busy. I was doing shit with my son, and I remember. Oh, we went and hiked the Butte, me and my son, and
I saw the pictures. Yeah, I saw.
We hiked the Butte, me and my son, and our puppy. And so when we got back, and first off, it poured raining on us. It was like whoever's idea it was to take a 5-year-old ginger hiking with a fucking puppy. Like, no, dude, like that. Yeah, that was my idea. I mean, for sure. But so we go do this. We get back. We're dirty as shit. And she blows my phone up like 5 different times in a row. And I just saw it while I was like cleaning the dogs in the bath and whatever. And I was like, it must be an emergency. She's blowing me up like 5 times. I pick up. I was like, what's up, Mom? I'm like, at this point, sweating, cleaning up the dog, cleaning up my kid. I was like, I'm giving the bath. Like, what, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And she's like, have you seen your messages? And I was like, no, I haven't. I was like, I've been busy. She goes, just check them. Get back to me. And I was like, all right, Mom, you're cool. I'm not joking you. An hour later, I didn't even get a chance to check the messages. I hear the doorbell ring. She lives like 2 miles from here. Listen, she fucking jogged. She did her cardio, and she's like, comes to the door. She's like, hey, I was just in the neighborhood, really excited and really proud of you, and just wanted to come. Anyways, and then she told me everything that had happened. I was like, Mom, you are home.
Rick Cancer is on Facebook asking every person in the world how to get in touch with you.
Hey, but she was so, you know, it's one of those things where she was so proud and so excited, and Lord knows, like, to see her, you know, with that kind of energy for what I'm doing or whatever, versus, you know, the energy that she used to see driving down those alleys, you know, like, there's no words for that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and yeah, man. So it's a surreal thing. It's a blessing. It's crazy. It's all those things. But yeah, it's a trip. My mom is she's a G for sure.
My mom, my most fond memory of my mother was when I was a teenager and I had super long feathered back hair, you know, like all the
nice
we're doing, and I wore the bell bottoms and all that shit, and
yes,
smoking weed and all that. And my mom, one day the car wouldn't start, so my mom says, you know, I'll take you to school, Ricky, and she called me Ricky.
Yeah,
like the Kinney thing. Nobody calls me Ricky.
Yeah, yeah.
And she takes me in the station wagon, and she pulls up to the school, and I said, Mom, drop me off back there, you know. She goes, no, honey, I'm going to take you up to your friends. And I'm like, ugh. So she drops me up. I open the door to get out, and my mom looks at me. She goes, Ricky, honey, mommy's going to miss her baby all day long. And I'm looking at her going, what the fuck are you doing? And all my friends are looking at me like, oh my God, you little pansy. And I got out of the car and I turned around, I looked at my mom, and she kind of waved like this. And I never forgot that because she loved me so much.
Yes.
She wanted to embarrass me and let her know. But now today, when I think about her, she's not here anymore. When I think about her, I think about you. You went over the line. Just like you said, your mom went downtown looking for you. It was that's kind of what I needed to know, that because, you know, I walked away embarrassed, but inside it, my heart was smiling because I knew she cared about me.
You knew how much you were loved.
Yeah. Moms are pretty powerful. I mean, dads have their place. We all have our place. But I watch my two sons with my wife, and it's like, you boys are toast. I mean, you are you have her wrapped around your fingers, but you don't realize how much she has you wrapped around your
right.
And your girlfriends are gonna go, God, your mom.
Yeah, absolutely. That's hilarious.
And thank you so much. You made my night. I mean, already the song made it, and I really hope this helps you. And I don't throw this word out a lot, you know, but dude, I love you, man. I think you're like, I want to keep you in touch with you, man. Because
you got my number, man. So we'll stay in touch any fucking time, man.
We'll go out and have have a lunch, just have a lunch or something like that. And now that Lane County's open, we're going to take our masks off and we're going to sit inside.
That's going to feel like such a surreal moment when we all get to do that shit again. Because God, that's crazy, man. But yeah, genuinely, Rick, I appreciate and value the fact that you were willing to share the song, that you were willing to, give me the opportunity to speak a little bit. And yeah, because like I said, to run into all the issues that have happened with this song that genuinely I never fucking saw coming. I genuinely didn't. Like, I joked around on social media like, oh yeah, I'll probably get canceled for this one. Like, I never in my wildest dreams genuinely thought that the biggest video platform in the world would not allow me to run an ad on a song that, to me at least, is so far from something that deserves to be banned. Like, telling us I can't even speak on what we're going through. I can't even say the words COVID-19. It's crazy, you know. But I genuinely, it's an honor for me to be able to jump on here, and I appreciate you sharing that. And shout out to every single person. I saw my boy James. I got to give him a shout out. So one of my best friends in the fucking universe, James Butler, Biggity Big. That's my guy. He's one of my best friends, and honestly, he's the reason why I'm clean and sober today. He was the person that I actually picked up the phone coming out of a blackout, walking through Gateway Mall, August 11th, 2005. And I flipped my phone open. It was the flip phones. Remember the flip phones?
Oh, yeah.
And I flipped the phone open, and I don't even remember why or where, but I remember picking up the phone and calling in, and it's because of him that I'm clean and sober today, because I reached out to him, and he told me where the next meeting was, and I don't even remember how I fucking got there, but it's because of him. And we've shared stages in front of thousands of people now, clean and sober, and yeah, that's my fucking brother. So I had to give him a shout out.
Oh, mom's got last. We'll let mom have the last comment on there. So go back, and I think Dale might have already shared your video on here. But what you can do, Ender, too, is go on the page and in the comment section, because it'll go to everybody that's on here. Just put your information, like how to get on your Facebook page, and that kind of stuff. Just tag it in there, and then people. Oh, you're already doing it.
I just did it. I think I just did it.
I think you did too.
Boom.
Here's the link to the video. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, stud. I will talk to you soon. We'll do this again, okay? Anytime you come out with a new song, you get in touch with me. And if you don't, I better not threaten you, because you do me on there.
Yeah, I was gonna say exactly. And my mom's number, as weird as that is, don't be fucking with my mom, Rick.
You know what? I'm gonna go through your mom now. I think, hey, I'm the silver fox, and she likes me. So
that's good, dude. Chat's ended, man. I fucking hate you, man. I love you.
Son, be good.
Oh,
all right. I'll talk to you later.
All right, Rick. Peace, bro.
Wow. Was that awesome or what? I knew I was looking forward to that for a reason. So the real deal, all the words people use to describe him. When you see somebody that has a gift like that can reach in and pull your soul. And like Michael said, put words to the things you're feeling that you can't get. And that's what a real artist does is puts the words to the things that we do. So again, I want to thank Coburg Road Car Wash. You guys, if you like the content we do, please go to the sponsors that do it for us. We can't do this without them, their sponsorship. And Coburg Road Car Wash is really good about doing anything. So if you're going to get your car washed, go in there and say, hey, man, thank you for supporting Rick Dancer. And you can mention the show and they'll know what it is because they know what they're doing. And that's kind of how it works. So, and remember, it's never a bad day for a car wash. And please share this on your page. Share his video. The video will be on here, but you can share this on your page. That gets more people paying attention and understanding who it really is, which is helpful for people. And so on YouTube, if you're on YouTube, go to the next video, because the next video was last night, where we blew it out of the water. The state of Oregon is slapping fines on people because I think they're trying to make an example of businesses that are not living under the mandates of the governor. So go check that out because it's a pretty interesting story. That's for all you folks on YouTube. All right, we'll see you tomorrow night.